Dallas Cowboys heading into Detroit. Is there a money-making opportunity there? Of course there is. A whole lot of NHL games, some NBA games, college hoops. You're watching the best betting show ever. I'm Lawrence Presman, king of the show. Joe Raineri with us. Art DiCesare, like always. Joe, I'll go to you first. How are you, dude?
Good. It's setting up to be a fun weekend, Prez. Lots college football, playoffs around the corner, put up or shut up time in the NFL. Gotta love it.
Yep. Well, let's get straight into it. Art, some bets for this weekend. Where's the money going? Let's start with the NFL.
Absolutely. Bengals and Bills. Bengals go to the Bills. Took sharp money on Buffalo. We're now at 6 on the game. Sharps also bet that over from 51.5 to 53. Another big game. Texans at Chiefs. Total has not really budged. We've been 42 pretty much from the time we opened. We're now sitting Chiefs minus 3.5, even money. That's actually going to see pretty good two-way action. I'm sure the public will bet the Chiefs. I'm sure the Chiefs will be in all the money line stuff once the weekend hits. But right now it's seeing pretty good two-way action. And the game tonight, I mean, the look-ahead line on this game, Detroit 7, you're now Detroit 3, minus 116. Public is on Dallas. Sharps are on the Lions. It feels like you have a bottom barrel number for Detroit. Like I said, when a look-ahead line was 7, and now you're getting 3 on that. If you like Detroit, probably now it's time to fire. We're trending towards 3.5 probably. High total, 54.5. This is going to be a heavily bet game. Public will be on the over in the game. So I'd be shocked if we don't need the under in the game.
Let me ask you, Art, are you feeling that maybe the public is finally out on Kansas City with this game coming up against Houston? I mean, I think they've won the last 5 against them. It always feels like, Houston, they can do it, and then they don't do it. But is the public finally out on them, do you think?
I think to a certain degree, Joe. I don't think they're fully out because, like I said, I do think by the time we get to Sunday, they're going to look at the Chiefs in moneyline parlays. I don't think the public's going to want to lay 3.5, but I think that they're going to have 2 and 3 and 4 teamers built around the Chiefs on the money line. That 3.5 number is tough. It's tough to lay over a field goal with Kansas City right now. So, like I said, I think we're going to see really good two-way action on the game. I think if the Sharps do lean one way, they'll probably take Houston and the points, and maybe even the under. I still think we could see some under money here with a total of 42 and how good that Texans defense is. This feels like a playoff type of game, slugfest game, 20-17. So I still think we could see that as well.
Art DiCesare joining us. Art, I'm just going to throw some stuff at you that we did not plan. Seattle looks like money is coming in on Atlanta. There's a 6.5 out there now, Art. What are you seeing on the Seattle-Atlanta game?
Yeah, as I mentioned the other day, we were as high as 8 on the game, and then we did take some money on Atlanta. Now, we didn't necessarily take sharp money on Atlanta. Sometimes we just, the money piles up, the money accumulates. We have to move with the market. But you also got to recognize Seattle being in that 7 range, they're still going to be very popular in the moneyline parlays and the teasers. So you got to take that into account as well. But you are right, Prez. We have seen that for us, a 1-point move there.
Oof. And this Cincinnati-Buffalo game, is it just almost all over bettors right now?
Yeah, I would say, and like I said, we did see sharp money on Buffalo on the side, which has moved us to 6. And I think we're honestly one of the only 6s out there. But the initial sharp money on this game was on 51.5, now sitting 53.5. So a 2-point move to the over there, which is not shocking.
And really, lastly, Art, this Pittsburgh-Baltimore total, there's now 42.5s out there. This opened at 47.5. Do you actually have guys sitting with 5-point middle opportunities here?
Well, for us, we didn't open that high, but, as I mentioned the other day, when we were there, we did take sharp money on the under, so it has moved us. But we have mentioned this probably over the last 2 or 3 shows here, or the last 2 or 3 weeks, that once you get into late, November, December, all that type of stuff, you're going to get to places with weather and the way some of these openers go. And by the time these games close, where guys do sit with 5 and 6 point middles, it does happen a lot the later we get into the season. So we definitely have to deal with that.
Yeah, and I want to mention something about that kind of when you're supposed to bet totals or sides. And I think hockey is the best illustration of that. If you are betting an under, you have to bet it the night before in hockey. There is simply no other way to attack it. You have 6.5 on so many games at 10 p.m. at night. You take the unders, you wake up at 6. Sometimes it's even 5.5. And that should demonstrate where the public bets on a regular basis. So, yeah, it works the same in the NFL, in every sport, frankly. I think it's 1% more bet. What is it, 51-49 to the over? Something like that. Art, do you know that number?
I don't, but it makes sense. I mean, we talk about this all the time, that the public does not want to sit in the sports book and root for 17-10.
Yeah.
They just don't. They want to watch 34-31. That's what they want to watch. Yeah. And that's what they bet to.
And that's such a weird rivalry because it always favors the underdog. It always favors the under. Tomlin and Harbaugh never play to overs. And the public knows it by now, Prez. So they were never, ever going to bet the over in that game. I think it was going to be under from the get-go, Art, which is smart that you didn't open it as high as some places did because you had to know it was going to be nothing but under money.
Yeah, and you said it, Joe. That's traditionally an under game. It has been for basically the last 2 decades here.
Yeah.
So
With that said, this is not a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that we're used to. I think this is the 5th worst unit in the league.
Gotcha.
So it is. It's.
I'm with you, Prez. It's not a vintage Steelers defense, no doubt about it.
I'm looking at this. I'm trying to pull out the team props. Here we go. Baltimore 24.5. Steelers 17.5. I could see the under in that Steeler game, in the Steeler team total. I prefer that than the under on the 42.5 on the game. I prefer the Steeler team total under here.
I'll give you this, though, Prez. Lamar and the Ravens, the last 3 home games in Baltimore, 24 or more points they have scored against the Steelers defense. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, to me, if I'm betting this game, and obviously I like Baltimore here, if I was to take an over, I would take Baltimore team total 24.5. If I was to take an under, I would take Pittsburgh's team total under. I think that's how this game's going to play out. I even like Baltimore at minus the points, frankly. Guys, hit that like button if you don't mind. Subscribe to our channel. Make sure to comment. We had so many good comments last night. We're going to go through a whole bunch of them later on in the show. Art DiCesare, before we get into the Dallas-Detroit game, are you seeing any betting info we need to know in hoops or NHL tonight?
Sure, absolutely. A couple of college I can throw at you in NHL and in NBA. We saw some Jazz money this morning. Market moved up on the Jazz. Saw some Flames money at home. They were as high as like plus 106, plus 107. Basically, pick them now in that game for us. Wisconsin Green Bay took under money at 140, now 138. They laid 3 with Cal Northridge all the way up to 5. And Cal State Fullerton, big over total, 176 we open. We hit as high as 180 on that game. We've creeped down a little bit on that game, but that initial money was sharp on that high total.
Well, there we go. Dallas and Detroit. I got to tell you guys, I'm in play. I got a 5% play up tonight on this game. I'm in play on both the side and the total. I'm only going to give out one bet. I'm going to do it now, and that is Dak over 1.5 touchdown passes. That's right, Dak Prescott over 1.5 touchdown passes. Joe, I'll go to you first.
Well, it's funny because the public loves the over, and I think Art will let you know that we're probably the line in the sand here with this total is the pros are going to be on the under, and the Joes are absolutely going to be on the over. I'm going to cut the game in half for us here, simply because I've been the only one here on this show that has been screaming this is not the same Detroit offense than it has been. Now they're down all sorts of guys here. No Laporta, no Amon St. Brown. He won't be there. Khalif Raymond won't be there. All of a sudden, the weapons aren't there. But you know who has the weapons? Dallas does. And Dallas has now 7 of their last 10 games. Prez has scored 14 or more points in the first half. Detroit's defense has now allowed 13 or more first half points in 4 of their last 5 games. And that includes against teams like, the Vikings, the Giants, the Commanders, a ridiculously bad Eagles offense, and the Packers. And I don't think they hold a candle to what the Cowboys offense is bringing to the table here. If all I need is the Cowboys to score 2 touchdowns to get over their first half team total at 12.5, yeah, I am backing the Cowboys in the first half, their team total over, Art.
Yeah, Joe, you actually need 2 field goals and a touchdown. You don't even need the second touchdown.
Oh, they'll get the touchdown. They'll get it.
But I do like that. I do like that pick. That makes a lot of sense to me. Art, first, where's the money going in this game? And then tell us what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, Joe hit it. You know, Public's going to be on the over. Sharp's definitely going to be on the under. 54.5, I don't know. Is that our top out number? And then by kickoff, we're at 53. I can see it. That's kind of where we're probably going to go as far as this game goes when the Sharps really do come in and say, you know, this was the top out number. Like I said, the look-ahead line on this was 7. So now when you're sitting at 3, I think the people who still believe in Detroit feel this is just a bottom barrel number for Detroit. So they're going to feel good about laying Detroit. It's 3 and juice because we're heading towards 3.5 maybe on this game. So we're 3 minus 116 on Detroit. Public will be on Dallas as well because they're always on Dallas. That's just the way it goes. I'll throw one prop out there, which one of our sharp prop guys took. He took Montgomery over 32.5 rushing yards. So that was a big one.
Jesus, that could be one rush. Well, that's more Gibbs. Montgomery is more. So we still got Amon St. Brown questionable. Sam, we've already discussed, is out. Sewell is questionable. Half of Detroit is missing this game, and the line is moving towards Detroit. Is that right? So we went from -3, hoping St. Brown would play, to maybe -3.5, knowing he likely won't play.
Yeah, I mean, also, too, listen, I get it for both teams, but Detroit loses this, they're out of the playoffs. If you look at their schedule,
100%.
I mean, 100%. They're gone.
Yep. They do have a pathway. Because Green Bay gets Chicago twice and Detroit gets Chicago once. There is a pathway now, but they have to win this game. But same with Dallas, Art. Dallas loses, they're out too, right? So
for sure.
You know,
and listen, Thursday always favors the team at home. Short week, you're at home, all that type of stuff. So I mean, this is put up or shut up for Detroit.
Well, you want to know what favors Detroit? The fact that Dallas is playing lights out ball and Detroit sucks. Now, why would that favor Detroit? Well, have you not watched what's been going on in the NFL this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Parlay of the day. This is a college football parlay, and I'm going to stick to the plan here, guys. I'm going to take tomorrow night. We're going with Kennesaw State. We're taking them. Well, it used to be on the money line, but we'll take them now, I guess, at the points. Art DiCesare, what do you got?
Yeah, I like that pick, Prez. I'm on Kennesaw too. They were basically a pick, and you've seen them go all the way up to 2.5. We'll actually discuss that game a little bit more tomorrow. I'm going to go to Friday night as well. I'm going to take Boise on the money line. I know that the line has really come down from where it was when they played originally in the season. Some issues with the quarterback, maybe with Boise. And UNLV's played a lot better defensively. But UNLV really, it feels like they never beat Boise. So give me Boise on the money line.
Joseph?
Been nothing but, I mean, Matson, I believe, is back in this game for Boise, and the whole world is running to the window and betting. Boy, I'm seeing 5s now are starting to pop up, Art. It's absolutely crazy. It's a Boise world. We're all just living in it. All right, so then I will stick with Friday as well, and I'm going to go with my new head coach there of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Give me North Texas to get it done. and make the college football playoff. I will take them on the money line.
There we go. That's the first half of the show. Art, what's going on over at the Westgate? Fill us in.
Not much, man. A lot going on, obviously, as far as, all the sports happening. Our college football contest wrapped up, first year of that. So that was really good and really successful. And, obviously I'll be back tomorrow to talk about a lot of these bowl games, or not bowl games, championship games for tomorrow and more NFL. So look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
Boom.
There you go. Art DiCesare, everyone. Joe, we got lots of show still to go. A bunch of NHL games I got to break down later on. Plus, we're going to do an NHL and NBA best bet segment. Before we do any of that, it's time for some business. Okay, some business. Let's go. As I told you guys, I got a 5% play up in the NFL tonight. We've talked about it all week long. It's a 5% parlay. Leg one goes tonight. It is a plus money parlay, and you guys can get it for half price over at WagerTalk.com. Just use the promo code half price. I also have a 4% NHL play up tonight. This is my first 4% NHL total this season. Now, many handicappers over at WagerTalk release 4% plays on a daily basis, and to each his own. Everybody's entitled to rate their units the way they want. 90% of all my bets are 2 and 3% bets. So when I do release a 4%, it is rare. I've only released about 50 of them this entire calendar year. I'm over 60% in them. I got one tonight in hockey. So yeah, I got a big card. I got 2 NFL plays, 2 hockey plays, and 2 hoop plays, 1 NBA, 1 college basketball. You can check that all out over at WagerTalk. What do you got, Joe?
Well, I am all in on this Thursday night game tonight. Prez got a 5% max play that is up and available. In fact, big NFL card, and I already am locked in on 2 of the conference championship games. So you can get both of those, in fact, right now over at my page in a package that is available to you at WagerTalk.com.
There we go. Brother, it's time to cue the clock. I'm going to give out 2 NHL best bets. I got 2 minutes to do it. Let's get to the first one, and we're going to pay attention to the Toronto-Carolina game. I've been telling you guys, and I told you yesterday, Toronto's going to play to the under moving forward, and they have. They have gone under the total of 6.5, 6 of their last 8 games. They just held the Florida Panthers to 1 goal. They held Pittsburgh to 2. Washington did get 4, but 3 of them came in the third period, and 1 was an empty netter, and Columbus 1 goal. And basically, what is happening in Toronto is simple. Craig Berube is a guy that coached the Blues for many years and was always playing to the under. He doesn't believe in the cycling type of a game. He plays north and south, dump and chase. He likes to play heavy, and he likes to really focus on keeping goals out of their net. Craig Berube's teams are always happy to win 2-1, 3-2 games, and it's exactly the same with Rod Brind'Amour. Rod Brind'Amour's Carolina Panthers team has been an under team since he took over. They're 13-11 to the over this year, but that's okay. They've really struggled to keep the puck out of their net. They've done better of late. They held Calgary to 0, Winnipeg to 1. Shots against them? Are you kidding me? Calgary put up 16, Winnipeg 13, the Rangers 17. These are 2 teams that want to play slow and 2 teams that want to play to the under. Let's not overthink it. Take under 6.5. And as for my second play, well, Edmonton Oilers in regulation, guys, minus 150. Yes, Joe, yes. I am sticking to the plan. I don't care. Oilers are going on a run. They're at home. They're playing Seattle. They played a great game against the Minnesota Wild, even though they lost 1-0. And they played an even better game against Seattle the game before. This Oilers team is about to turn their season around. Take them minus 150. Joe, what's your 2 NBA best bets?
Wow, that's impressive, Prez. Well, we only have five games in the NBA here tonight. So let's start with one of them right now. And hurry up, guys. The Boston Celtics, who really pretend like they're an up-tempo team, but they just are not. They just bomb away from 3. And the problem is tonight, while, yes, they're taking on the Washington Wizards, and everyone loves to beat up the Wizards, except if you are, well, the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. However, no Jaylen Brown tonight. He is dealing with some flu symptoms, apparently. He is not going to be available to them, which now leads me to believe points might be a little bit harder to come by tonight. This line opened up 234 as a total. I've already bet the under here. No Jaylen Brown because of this illness. I would expect them to play a lot slower, and I expect this to be much more of a half-court game. Also, the Wizards also going to have a number of guys that are not going to be available to them in this one. This is going to be like watching paint dry. If everybody was healthy and playing, I would have considered to go over, but without everyone healthy or playing, this is going to be ugly, this one. I am taking the under in that one. I'm also going to take the over, however, with Utah and Brooklyn here, currently right around that 231 and a half mark. Listen, Utah has jacked up the pace. They got no problem running up and down the court and scoring here. Now, they are better at home than on the road, but I think both of these teams will have a lot less offense, a lot less defense, rather, and a lot more offense. So I'm going to look to back the over and look for points in Utah and Brooklyn here tonight, Prez.
Let's keep it rolling, baby. NHL rundown every game of the board. And yeah, I think the New York Islanders are a live dog. Now, I don't want to get in the way of Colorado. Best team in the league by far, and maybe the best team we've seen ever as far as the start of a season has gone. But I don't love this spot with Colorado. Plus 170. I'm going to take a flyer on the New York Islanders. Florida playing Nashville. Total is 6.5 at some books, the two that most of you bet at. We're going to look to take under. Nashville is a stone cold under team. This team can't score. And Florida is a team I think we're going to see transition back to what they've been for the last 5-6 years, and that is an under team. 6.5, let's go with the under. Tampa Bay hosting Pittsburgh. This is an interesting game because any Pittsburgh game I'm looking to take over, and Tampa Bay games I'm looking to take under. So I'm going to pass on the total. We're going to look to take Tampa Bay in regulation. Ottawa hosting the New York Rangers. I think the Rangers are really live here. Plus 110 dog. Bad spot for Ottawa, especially after the rivalry game against Montreal. We're going to take the New York Rangers. Boston and St. Louis, I'm going to take under the total of 5.5. Detroit playing in Columbus. We're going to look at under the total of 6.5 in that game. We've already broken down the Toronto-Carolina game. Don't overthink it. Take the under. Take the under in the Minnesota-Calgary game as well. Take Edmonton, minus 150. Three-way regulation bet against Seattle. And man, I'm just going to ride the Hawks. They're a plus 200 dog. I know LA's better, but this Chicago team just seems to keep winning and keep getting it done. And that is a juicy price. So let's look at Chicago. Joe, your college hoops right now.
Oh, I love that, Prez. Let's make some money on the Blackhawks while we still can. That's for sure there. All right, Prez, we only have, I believe, 9 games in college basketball here tonight. Here's a couple to keep an eye on. And we're going to go late night, too, here across all the way to Hawaii as UC Davis will be taking on the Rainbows. Now, this was at 9.5, but I can tell you already it has been bet down. We're seeing 8 and 8.5, and I agree with it because there isn't a whole hell of a lot separating these two teams right now, and that is a big ask for Hawaii to win by close to double digits here. Both of these teams have had close losses to, well, step-up competition like Arizona State and Oregon. For Hawaii, UC Davis, by the way, upset a pretty good Nevada team and played really tough at Colorado. So, listen, I think both these teams are on equal footing. And while, yes, the Rainbows do have a little bit of a home court advantage there, but it's not like this place is going to be rolling with people outside the stands, and UC Davis has been there and done that. 10 of the last 13 games between these two have been decided by 8 points or less. I took the 9.5. I got no problem. In fact, betting this down to 8 because I think UC Davis might actually have a chance to steal one there in Honolulu. And of course, one of the fun games of the night, Cal Poly Slow taking on Cal State Fullerton. Two teams that are going to run faster than you can imagine up and down this court. So much so that the betting public has now bet this thing close to 180 points. Do you have any idea how much has to go well for you to get 180 points in a college basketball game? Not going to happen here. These two, while they may take a ton of shots, they never have any idea where they're going. So I like the under 179 in Cal Poly, Cal State Fullerton.
Joe, let's get to our mailbag section of the show. Let's start with Debbie Head.
Ooh.
My ex-wife's name was Debbie. Her last name was not Head, Joe. That I can tell you unequivocally. I'm going with a player prop. Sanders for a touchdown at plus 650.
Ooh.
I don't like it, Joe. I don't think there's enough value there, but Debbie's got a hunch.
Okay.
Candom Morta. Hey, guys, I watch the show every day while at work. He loves the show. He wants our opinion. He's holding a ticket. Ohio State wins the Natty at plus 185. He says the line's about to drop to 160. Departure of Hartline. Will it significantly affect the team? Joe?
Well, if you're not holding an Ohio State ticket, then you're probably saying, yes, it will. It's going to be a bit. No, it won't. It will not affect Ryan Day or Ohio State. And to your point, Ohio State wins this game against Indiana. Yeah, that ticket you're holding right now going to be about even money when it's all said and done to win the national championship.
So there you go. So let's race through this. So Nyla writes, I watch this show from all my phones daily. How many phones do you think Nyla has, and why would he watch this show more than once?
Work the phones, Nyla. That's what I'm talking about. Got to appreciate the hustle, Prez. Got to appreciate the hustle. Joe,
Kelly Vincenzo, a name that we've seen for years. So, Kelly, thank you, my brother.
Yep.
He writes, Ohio State's, he believes 19 out of the last 20 games, they've held their opponents to 0 touchdowns in the first half. Now, he believes that. It's not a fact. What is your thoughts there? And is there an opportunity to bet that Indiana under team total in the first half?
I would look to bet the Indiana team total under full game as well, yeah. 21.5 here. I mean, Ohio State hasn't allowed more than 16 points in a game this season. So to his point, when they have been scored upon, it's generally happened in the second half here. And let's face it, Indiana will be the best team that Ohio State has faced. But if we're being honest here, Prez, so what? This will be the best defense. Exactly. They will still have their hands full. Yeah. So I don't mind it. I don't mind the first half or the full game team total under.
And then Kelly also writes, Art is one of his favorites. I think there's only 3 people on the show. One of. I don't know how to take that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, let's see. I mean, we got a 33.5% chance that, it's not a good thing for us.
He is one of. I agree. He is one of. John Roberts wrote such a good
what do you got?
review of the show. He writes, just a great show. I look forward to watching it every day. It's not only very informative, but it's also great entertainment. You guys make it so much fun. You're hilarious. Thanks. And dude, that's amazing because it's exactly what the show is trying to achieve. When you and I spoke about putting the show together, it was like, how can we give out sports betting information and laugh the whole way through? Because so many of these shows are so dry. So I'm so happy he got it. And I will end with one last thing.
Yes.
Benjamin Bassett writes, you still suck, Prez. Yeah?
Consistent.
Better than my ex-wife.
Oh, Debbie.
Later, guys.
Oh, I can't.